Okay.
Welcome to Computer Science IGCSE, and today we are going to start the solution of scenario-based question, the most important part of our computer science paper 2. Basically, scenario-based question is 15 marks question, right? And in this question, there are several techniques which we are going to learn today. We have already done 20 algorithms, and now we are pretty mature to understand the objective and then solve the question. I told you from the beginning that objective is very important. Stay on the objective and then you are able to solve the question. You need to stay on the objective, read it again and again, underline the important things, and don't forget to make a column what to do. Isn't it? The column what to do.
Yes.
Most important thing. Okay, let's start. So there is another revision of our paper number 2 things, algorithms, programming and logic, 75 marks paper. And this paper consists of a 15 marks, a solid question of scenario based. The final question in paper 2 is a 15-mark unseen scenario based question. So this question will be the last question, okay? And it is expected
Yes.
that candidates should spend 30 minutes answering this question. This is the most important thing. So what is the duration of your paper? 1 hour, 45
1
minutes.
hour 45 minutes.
So out of 1 hour, 45 minutes, you have to stay on scenario-based question 30 to 45 minutes, right? So this,
Okay.
your work very balanced, right? No rush. Okay, let's move to the question number 1. There we go. The 1D array student name contains the names of students in a class. So the first thing in our question is a 1D array, isn't it? So 1D array, the name of an array is student name. And in this array, you are going to store the names. Is that okay?
सर कैन यू रिपीट आप डिस्कनेक्ट हो गए थे
Okay. I'm saying that the 1D array student name contains the name of students in a class. So what is the name of our array? Student name. In
स्टूडेंट नेम
array, we are going to store what? The names of the students. This is the
स्टूडेंट्स
first thing you need to note down. Okay. The 2D array student marks contain the marks of each subject for each student. So we don't know right now that how many students are there. We just know there is an 1D array of student name and a 2D array of student marks. In 2D array, you have to store the marks for each subject. Is that okay?
यस
The position of each student data in the 2D array is same. For example, the student in position 10 in student name and student mark is the same. Okay, let me give you a concept. Look, this is a 1D array for student name. I'm just writing NAME name. This is a 1D array for student name. Is that okay?
यस
In this array, you are going to write down the name of the student. Is that okay?
यस
This is very important to make a mind map. That's called mind mapping, okay? So
जी
this is an array and these are the index. Is that okay?
यस
Now there is another 2D array. What? 2D array. What do you mean a 2D array? It means that there is an array of multiple columns and rows. Is that okay? So in
यस
array, again, we have the same thing. The marks for subjects. So let's suppose we have subject 1. This is the 2D array for student marks. I'm just writing marks, okay? M-A-R-K, mark, not marks, it's mark, M-A-R-K. So the name of the 2D array is student mark. It's here. Okay, so subject 1, I'm writing S1, subject 1. S2 subject 2. Is that okay? Okay, let's suppose on
Okay.
the index 0, there is a student named A. So index 0 here, 31, let's suppose, and 45. So these are the marks for the student A. This is the thing they have written down. For example, the student in position number 10, student name and the student mark is the same. So we have clearly clearly get this idea that A is a student at position number 0 and position number 0 in the 2D array, 31 and 45. These are the two marks belong to.
पोजीशन नंबर 0 पे ए बच्चे के मार्क्स भी हैं.
Exactly. This is my point. Very good. Is that okay?
Yes.
Now, the variable. Now we have a variable. Look, they told you the variable. What is the name of variable? Class size.
Class size.
Contains the number of students in a class. So if there are 10 students in this
Class.
class, so tell me the student name, the array have how many index? 0 till 9 index. Class size. Let's suppose there are 10
Yes.
students in a class. So definitely the name right here, the 1D array
Will
is
be 0
also
to 9.
of 10. Yes, 0 to 9. Very good. Now the variable subject number, again, how many variables are there now?
2 variables.
Yes. What are the names of two variables? Quickly tell me.
Class size and subject number.
Excellent. The variable subject number contains the number of subjects studied. All students study the same number. How many subjects I told you here? Look, I told you 2 subjects. This is for example, okay? This is for example.
Yes.
So
तो सर उन्होंने हमें बताया
they didn't
सर
told.
उन्होंने हमें बताया नहीं हुआ कि कितने सब्जेक्ट्स हैं तो
This
वो
is
हम
that
खुद
is why it is
assume कर सकते
variable.
हैं.
That is why it is variable. Variable means a changeable thing, right?
Okay.
They didn't
Okay.
tell us the total size of the class and the subject number. If they given us, it will become constant, but they did not given us that thing. It means it is variable. This is the reason it is variable. Okay. So you need to
Okay.
input
Understood.
3 subject, 4 subject, 10 subject, whatever. Now, listen to me very carefully. I teach you 4 things. Number 1, student name is an array. Number 2, student mark is an array. Number 3, class size is a variable. Number 4, subject number is a variable. All clear?
Yes.
Are you writing what to do in your notebook?
Yes.
Yes, that is the thing I want. You have to write down the what to do. Chalo, आगे बढ़ो. The arrays and variables have already been set up and the data stored. Students are awarded a grade based on their average marks. Remember my algorithm. In my algorithm, you have already done this one. Open
Yes.
algorithms. I told you out of 20 algorithm, one of my algorithm will strike. So look, right? Did you understand? So you already done this type of
Yes.
algorithm with me in the class. So what is the condition? Tell me the condition.
Greater than or equal to 70, greater than पे
Ah,
distinction होगी,
yes.
greater than or equal to 55 and less than 70 paid merit होगा, greater than or equal to 40 and less than 55 पे pass होगा and less than 40 पे fail होगा.
Do you know how to solve this algorithm?
I can try. सर मुझे ये नहीं पता कि एरे को किस तरह डिक्लेयर करवाते हैं.
Yes, I
वो
will.
मुझे पता है कि पहले हमें डिक्लेयर क्लास साइज और
Very good.
सब्जेक्ट नंबर करवाना पड़ेगा.
Excellent.
फिर
Excellent.
हमने इनपुट कराना होगा क्लास साइज और सब्जेक्ट नंबर.
You have to be patient. You have to be patient. No rush. I told you the first thing is a calmness. If you remain calm in the exam, you will get the 15 marks. Our concept is clear
Okay.
because you done this algorithm with me in the last lesson. The same algorithm we have done. Now the same algorithm comes in the scenario based
Yes.
different with different tactics. Now the thing is not clear yet. Look, write a program that meets the following requirement. Number 1, what do you have to do? Look, number 1, calculate the total
Calculate the
marks
combined total marks.
for each student. So if you input 5, so you need to find out the total marks for the 5 students and all their subjects. So if you are going to input 3 subjects, so the 3 marks will be added up. Can calculate the average mark. Did I teach you the calculate marks pseudocode in my lesson?
Yes. Average mark.
So you know the
जी.
formula. So calculate the average marks
जी
for each student in their subject. Round it to the
जी
nearest whole number. You need to keep this thing in your mind. Round it off. Okay. So two things are,
okay
what do you have to do first? Total marks. Then you find out the average. Okay. Then
average
you have
mark
to print. What do you have to print? Tell me quick. Name of the student,
name combined total
marks,
mark average
average,
mark and
and
grade
the
awarded
grading criteria is already mentioned up there. That's it. This is your objective. Then you have to calculate, store, and output the distinction, merit, pass, and fail. And you must use pseudocode or program code and comments to explain your code works, right? You do not need to
yes
initialize the data in the array. So there's no need to initialize. You need to declare, okay? Declare. Let's start.
okay
So you are asking how to declare, right? So the first thing, you
yes
array, student name, the first array, and student mark is the second array, isn't it? These are the
yes
arrays you need to declare, okay? So how do you declare?
yes
Look, first you need to write down, let me put a text box. How to declare an array, okay? First thing, declare. Look, okay, what is the name? Student, okay, declare array. You have to write down array. What? Student
array
name. Okay, if you are taking 10 students, so you need to write 0 till 9 and the data
अच्छा
type.
इससे
The data
ये
type.
चीज हमारे ऊपर डिपेंड करती है कि हम कितने एरेस बनाते हैं
Exactly, because this is a variable.
ओके
Acha, tell me the data type for name, string,
फॉर स्ट्रिंग
and then declare array. What is array? Student mark. Student mark.
इंटीजर होगा
Very good. Acha, how many marks are going to input? Let's suppose 3 subjects. So you need to write 0 till 2. And the data type will be integer. That's it. Then you need to write declare. Now listen to me very carefully. Declare. Declare. Let's move back. Let's move back up there. Declare. What we need to declare. Listen. Read the point. Calculate the total marks for all their subjects. So declare total.
मार्क्स
Yes. Declare total marks. Okay.
इंटीजर
Integer. Declare. Yes. What?
एवरेज मार्क
Yes. Read the objective. Average marks. Okay. Average is a formula. Okay. So we can't declare it. We need to find it out. Okay. Now read the bullet number 3. Name, total marks, average, award graded. Yes, graded awards. So we need to declare all the award graded. Like first thing is distinction. I'm just writing DIS, integer, declare merit, integer. Is that okay? Declare, come on,
यस
integer, declare
डिक्लेयर पास
integer. Is
फेल
that fail? Yeah. Pass number and fail number, whatever. So I just write pass it. Simple. Okay, now you have to think one thing in your mind. Look up there. I'm moving up there. There is an array. You see, I have drawn 2 arrays, right? 2 arrays. Did you notice
यस
in the arrays we need to move one after another? Like from 1, we have to shift to 2, then 3, then 4. Look, what is this thing called?
यस
What is this thing called?
शिफ्ट
No, what we have to apply here? One after another, one after another, one after another. What is what we need to apply here? Think about it.
स्टेप
A step. So how do we use a step? What is the scenario we use?
प्लस वन
No, 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 no. You are missing something. You have to apply the loop. If there is a continuous iteration one after another, it means there must be a loop. Is that okay? There must be a
यस यस
Did
A
you
loop.
understand? If you're taking 10
Yes.
students, if you're taking student marks 2, then you have to think that how did I move from one to another? So we have to use a loop. If we are using 10 names,
Okay.
one after another, one after another, one after another. So we have to use loop. Is that okay? So
Yes.
we use two loop, one for the student name and one for the student mark. Is that okay? So declare student counter, counter. I told you, you always use counter. Did you remember my word? Counter.
Yes.
Yeah, so look, everything which I told you, teach you, is striking here. This is the thing. This is the very important thing. Declare student. Okay, no. Student name is done. Student counter, student mark. So student mark counter. Is that okay? Integer.
Yes.
So how many total marks are there in our question? 15. For declaration of all these things, you will maximum get 4 to 3 marks. So if you're going to declare
Okay.
everything neatly, you will easily get 4 marks, max 4 marks. So look, 15 out of 4 you get, isn't it? So this is
ठीक
how
है.
you have to be very careful. So you learn how to declare array, you learn how to declare the
Yes.
variable. That's it. Okay, now let's move back. We have already done this algorithm. Which thing we use here in this algorithm? Tell me.
And if statement, if
Yes,
condition.
very good. If then else will be used. So let's discuss the marking scheme here. Now we are going to straight moving to our marking scheme. So you see here, you can see here, declaration is done. This part is done right here. I teach you separately, okay?
Yes.
Now, look, they are going to take the constant values. The distinction value is 70, the constant merit value is 55, and the pass is equals to 40. How did they know this? So the answer is right here in the objective. Look, objective. Greater than or equal to 70. Look, so they take 70, constant value. If the student gets 70, the distinction. If the student get less than 70 or equal to 55, it means what they have right here, merit is equal to 55, and then pass
Merit.
to 40. Now, what does this 2 slash mean?
Comments.
Comments. Very good. So directly moving right here, we are going to assign everything 0. The 4 things are 0. Why? Because the initial value for every variable or the constant is 0. Okay, so 0 is here. Now,
0. Yes.
now recall the array. Recall the array. Did you draw these 2 arrays in your notebook?
Yes.
Okay, now, did you see this array name and the marks? How many students are there?
Yes.
You input 10 students. Is that okay? So first you
Yes.
need to use a loop. Why loop? Because in computer, you're going to input the name and the name, one name is there, then second name is there, then third name is there. So the first starting point is the for next loop here. You can see for student counter. Look, the student counter means, look, this is a array for name. I'm just writing n, okay, name. And you see here, the names are there. Is that okay?
Yes.
0 till 9, okay, 0 till 9. So if the name is A, then the next name is B, then the next name is C. Look, so in this case, we are going to use a loop for the first array. And the name of the first array is student counter. 1 to class size. What is class size? We did not declare the variable for class size, I think. We have to declare the variable for class size.
Yes.
We need to declare the variable for class size. So I'm going to simply add declare class size. Is that okay?
Class.
Now class size is a
Yes.
variable and the data type is integer. So if you're going to input 10, so how many times the loop will iterate?
10 times.
Look, so if you input 10, so how many times the loop iterate? Look, 10. And the total marks, look, the total marks with the student counter is right now 0. Look,
0.
yes, it's 0. Why it is 0? Because you are initializing. The things are going to be started. So right now it's 0. Next student counter. Now after 0, you have 1.
सर ये 1 to 9 नहीं होगा?
Listen, 3,
स्टूडेंट काउंटर 1 to 9 नहीं होगा?
4, 5 till 9. Yes, you can change it accordingly. Okay. The computer is not going to read the data from 0. Computer always take the data from the 1. So if you're writing it 0 to 9 or 1 to 10, it's totally fine.
Okay.
So please take out your notebook, write down the algorithm till I teach you. I didn't teach you the whole. You need to write down the declaration, this part, and then get back to me. 5 minutes.
Okay.
Now we know that we have 2 arrays. One is for the student name and one for the student subject. So definitely we have to run a 2 loops. One loop is done for the student, right? And the class size. And the second loop is for the student counter, 1 to class size. And the third one is a subject counter, again, 1 to subject number. So I told you that if you're taking 10, right here, the 10 class size, how many times the loop iterate? 10 times. And how many names you need to input? 10. So 1 to class size means 10.
सर मेरे ख्याल में हमने सब्जेक्ट नंबर डिक्लेयर नहीं करवाया.
Declare subject number. Subject counter is there.
Okay.
Total marks,
ठीक है.
subject class size, subject number. You say subject number. No, there's no need of subject number, I guess. Subject counter is there, student. You can use subject number. Yes, you can take subject number. So declare subject number. Declare subject number. Is it okay? Data type integer. So
Yes.
now if we're going to input 3 subject, 4 subject, or 2 subject, so the counter for the subject num assigns 1 to subject num. So if you have written 2 here, so how many times the loop iterate?
2 times.
So for the name and for the subject number, we have done with the loop. Now the next thing is the total marks. The total marks should be the total marks plus student mark. The total marks should be assigned. This is assignment operator. Total marks plus student marks. So how did we get this? Look, total assign. Total marks, I'm just writing TM plus student marks. Okay, now listen to me. If you're going to input, the total is 0 right now. The total marks is also 0. Now you're going to input the subject marks, let's suppose 71. So the 71 is going to be added in total. Look, is that okay? Now the total is
Yes.
71. Now you're going to input the subject, next subject, because we have only 2 subjects, 69. So the 71 and 69 will be added, right? And becomes, yes,
Okay.
140. So what is the total marks? 140. How many
140.
subjects up there? 2 subjects. So I do this totaling for 2 steps. Is that okay?
Yes.
This is the clarification of this step. Then you have to use next. Next here, next subject counter. It means, look, the first subject counter and then second subject counter. Is that okay? Then you have to find the average marks. What is the formula of average? You already know. Total divided by subject number.
Subject number.
Right? You're going to take the average marks. And then you have to output name, comma, student name, student counter. Why we take student counter all time in the bracket? Because this is a loop. The loop always executes. Like the first name is A. So the counter will iterate to B. Next C. Next D, and so on. So this is a look. This is how it works. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that okay? Then you're going to output or print total marks. Then print average. After this, you have a condition, because now you get the total marks and then you have to find out what? The condition. What is the condition? The average marks. If the average marks is greater than or equal to distinction, then you are going to add the student marks in distinction. Distinction plus 1. And print distinction. Else, if average marks is greater than or equal to merit, then print merit assigns plus 1. Grade merit. Then for pass, and then for fail. How many if you use? Can you count? 1, 2, 3.
3.
3 ifs are there. So look, 1, 2, 3. And then next counter, student counter. It means for the first, the grade is done. The next, the grade is done. The next grade is done, and so on. And then you need to print distinction, print merit, pass or fail. Whatever the students are there, like 3 students are getting distinction, 2 students are getting merit, 1 student got fail. Everything will be print here. This is for the 15.
Okay.
Do you understand the logic?
Yes.
Please write it down in your notebook.